with Michael Coffie. Michael, how do you prefer to be called? I mean, you becoming a well-known name for all the good reason. Michael Polite, Michael Coffie. How is better?
I mean, honestly, in person, I have no real preference, but I figured it was easier just as far as like titling things to use the shorter version, which is just Michael Coffie or
Okay.
Mike.
Or Michael, yeah. I mean, you're right. It's let's keep the last name. We all hope that your first name will be enough to introduce you to the boxing world. You've been introduced to the boxing world. I had the pleasure to talk to you before your last fight. Everything went well. We know a spectacular knockout always helps when you want to bring yourself into the upfront of being seen and being recognized. Uh, if I can just go back for a while, let's lead us through how this thing happened.
Um, as far as just like in the fight,
Yes.
well, I mean, the approach to the fight was, we knew about his amateur pedigree. Like I knew about his amateur pedigree. Like, you know, when I was still, fighting in the amateurs. So I knew that. I knew that he was a little quick-handed. Um, and the words that everyone else used was, oh, he fights like a lightweight, you know. And I know they was referring to, just movement and everything, fluidity. But what I also noticed was that he fought like a lightweight, which is he fights like a small guy, like like not just like from his movement. I'm talking about he like as far as his size is concerned. And so we wanted to expose that, and it worked out. Like, um, you know, we figured he would do a lot of movement and stuff like that. And we would just, cut the ring off, make it small for him. And then when it came down to it, he'd have to like, let his hands go. And in the midst of him letting his hands go, he's going to present, shots. I'm going to take them.
When I spoke with Jose, your trainer, he said, I'm not going to say that you guys set up this punch, but we were preparing this way of hitting him and hopefully ending the fight this way.
Yeah, both punches that put him down. We were working on those punches specifically because of the way that he fights. We was like, these will be the shots that we could get off on him. So, as far as the uppercut, when his name first came up, and he asked me about him and stuff. One of the things that I noticed that other people noticed as well is that he brings his chin with him with the punches that he throws when he throws the punches, and also on a tie up, he reaches out. He like reaches out to try to tie you up, and that's he's opening himself up for an uppercut. So in the fight, when I caught him with that good uppercut, I felt his weight on my shoulders, so I knew he was on his front foot. So as soon as he did that, I just used my arm to get a little bit of space. I slid out, and I already had the uppercut ready to go. And then same thing with the last knockdown that ended the fight. That short left hook. I mean, we were working that, but we were working both those punches right before we came down to the ring. But we were working that specific short lead left hook, I believe it was. We were working that like the last week of camp. We kept throwing that punch, because we figured that was going to be a punch that was going to present itself in the second half of the fight. But after that knockdown from the uppercut, I could hear my corner saying he's ready to go. So I was like, all right, let's see if I can get it off here early.
For anyone who actually listens to us for the first time or doesn't know a lot about boxing, this is why boxing is being called a thinking man's game. Of course, it's about power. Of course, it's about strength and all that. But like you just gave us the perfect example, if you prepare, if you think in the ring, the boxing become an easy sport. Of course, you have talent and everything else. How much the preparation for you, the mental preparation is a part of boxing, mental and tactical preparation.
That it's like if I had to throw a number down there, I would say like 70-30. 70 to the mental, the IQ, and then 30 to the power, because like they say with heavyweights, like the thing is every heavyweight has power. If you
Yeah.
you get a man over 200 pounds hits you with a shot, no one's gonna let them hit them with a free shot, because they all have power. But what happens when that fails, or if that is not working out for you, like when you want it to, or the way that you thought it would? Now you got to rely on something else, and that's what we do a lot of. Preparing when we're in the gym is, don't go into the fight just thinking you're just gonna blast somebody out of there, because they could be stubborn. They could have a good beard, and you sitting there dedicating the first half of the fight to just trying to blast them out of there, and then in the second half of the fight, you be done like punched yourself out, and they might just they might wake up in the second half of the fight. You never know, so you have to have something else to fall back on, and we just make sure that we're always prepared for that.
Uh, everyone knows, and I'm sure you know, that from now on it's gonna be harder because Michael Coffie will not sneak on anyone else. I mean, you can tell, let's say 6 months ago, not many people knew who you are. First of all, they didn't know how you fight. And the colleagues, the broadcasters, when they were talking about the fight, they're always bringing that he thinks in the ring, he does well, he never does anything out of character. So there is no like weird punches, haymakers just to throw it. But the first question is for me more important is now they know who you are. How do you have to elevate your boxing game to still be who you are?
Just prepare myself to beat the guy I was the fight before. Like, because when I watch look back on my fights, I'm not just looking at, with the other guy. I'm looking at myself too, and I'm looking to see like, oh, I could have did this at this moment, could have did that, blah blah blah. And so we go back, and my trainer, he takes notes and stuff like that. So if he see like, okay, this fight, yeah, you did well on the inside, but on the outside, I want you to throw more jabs. We're gonna do that in the training camp until I just despise it. So we're gonna continuously throw more and more and more and more jabs. He even brought out, because we've been back in the gym now. Now he brought out the that punch counter, and he's like, he doesn't tell me when he brings it out or anything like that. But secretly he's watching me on the bag, and he's just counting to see how many jabs I throw, because when your shoulders is tired and everything like that, it becomes harder and harder to throw those jabs, extend those punches and stuff. So he just wants to see, just how many I throw after doing like, 10 rounds of mitt work. Let's see what you do when you go in that bag, and let's see how you let your hands go. So I just think that, it's important for me to prepare for the next opponent, but then also to be able to beat my former self.
I spoke with your trainer, maybe, I think that was a week after the fight. And the first question I asked him, I hope Michael it's not become one of those guys who wins spectacularly couple of fights. And then he said, give me Anthony Joshua, give me Tyson Fury. I am ready for those guys. And Jose said, no, don't worry about that. He understands where his place right now is in a game. So where is your place right now in the boxing heavyweight spectrum?
It's, you know, it's definitely levels, you know, it's levels to the game. And I would say that, you know, for me to call out, you know, Anthony Joshua and Fury and the Wilders, all those guys, I would have to already be at a contender status. And I don't believe that I'm yet at a contender status. So to me, it's more realistic for me to you know, target the guys who are being spoken of as they could be the next contender. You know what I'm saying? Target those type of guys, you know, the Jermaine Franklin's, you know, who else? I mean, even like Gerald Washington, who was once a contender, but now he's probably falling like right below that or something like that, you know? Because I feel like if I can prove myself with those type of guys, you know, those guys who like, you know, like Gerald Washington, who's been there, but fell short, you know, prove myself with those type of guys, and then I could elevate myself to a contender status and fight other contenders, and then eventually, you know, try my luck at a belt.
I mean, no doubt. I mean, just like you just said, there are levels to everything, levels to develop your talent, levels to you can fight on it right now, or you will be able to hopefully fight in 6 months or so. I also heard a couple of those names you mentioned as you possible opponents on or rivals even in March. This is my next question. You mentioned Deontay Wilder. I know you've been in a couple of sparring camps with Deontay. It's probably hard. I never been, and you talking to me, so I'm still alive. So I never got hit. I never got hit by Deontay Wilder, but you've been there, and also commentators and you trainers saying that he is not. Let's use the word. He's not afraid when you start mixing up because he knows you can take a really, really, really big punch. It does give you any of the the sense of maybe not invincibility, but you know, if I get hit, I get hit.
Yeah, like I would say this, like it lets me know, like, yeah, you know, if I got caught with a big shot. I mean, I know I can react well to getting caught with a big shot. But at the same time, it also lets me know that I don't want to get caught with a big shot. You know what I'm saying? Like so, you know, you got to move your head. You got to be aware of where I got to be aware where my hands are. I got to be aware where my opponent's hands are and everything like that. So, you know, I don't want to sound like I'm priding myself on being able to take a good shot, but at the same time, yeah, it's good to have that in the back pocket. You know, but I don't boast too much about it. I don't boast too much about it because honestly, I don't. You know, I want to get hit the least amount of times as possible, or you know, just you know, even if you can just avoid the clean shots, I think that does something.
Well, yeah, like I said before, no doubt, it's great to have a big chin in your back pocket. You're not fighting featherweights. You're fighting the guys who can actually hit. From all what I know, you're ready to fight even two, maybe even three times this year. Also heard some possibilities of fans seeing you again end of March. Are you on some kind of schedule? I want to fight like two, three times this year, or you just going from one fight and one absence that will be presented to you in 2021?
I want to fight 5 times this year, and I got one
Sorry
in.
about that.
Because you know, if I do that, that's like a good, you know, every 2 months, you know, that's like a good, you know, fight. Take like a week and a half off, get right back in the gym, get ready for the next fight. You know, I personally think, you know, for me, where I'm at and what I'm trying to do, that would be best for me. And you know, obviously, it all depends on like, you know, how the fights go and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah.
Thus far, like I've taken like little to no damage. You know, like even in the last fight, like I mean, honestly, I could have been ready to go like the next week or something. You know, like but yeah, I would personally like to go another like 4 times before the year is up, if I could. But we'll see. We'll see how it go.
Michael, we know a couple of things about you, and you're great to watch. This is so important. I mean, wins are wins, but this is a entertainment business. We all know it. I mean, you don't want to just go and start swinging haymakers. We know that, but I just heard from you that you have no problem of going from one training camp to another, which is a rare thing. Some of the guys are saying, no, no, I make some money. I mean, let's. I'm not saying you're making some money. I understand this is just the beginning of the road, but you have no problem of taking, let's say, a week off and called your trainer and said, when we gonna meet again?
Yeah, I mean, because a lot of guys. The reason why I feel like I can do that, or sustain that type of activity is, a lot of guys, they out, they win a fight, they go out, celebrate, spend them, spend their money on the material stuff. Like I spend my money on like just like preparation. I like getting going to chiropractor, getting adjustments. I I've been like going to the massage therapist, the physical therapist and stuff like that, just to get adjustments, just to keep my body. It's the preparation. You know what I'm saying? Like there's for instance, LeBron James, right?
Yeah.
I read something that he spends like $1 million on just keeping himself, saying, up to par for the next season. That's what I've been spending money on. I've been consistent. Like I have it like set up to where, like, whether it's the chiropractor, the massage therapist, or the PT, I do them a certain amount of times a week, every week. Even when in that week and a half, or that week that I had off after the fight, in that week I was like, oh, this is the perfect time for me to be going. That way I prepare my body to go into another camp, and so that's what I do. I haven't really been going out or anything like that. I mean, we had like a nice little dinner with the team and stuff like that. What was it, like last week? We had a dinner with the team. But other than that, ain't too much like partying or celebrating going on, nothing like that. Not yet. Maybe the right fight.
But this is great, because this is more and more prevalent. I see it. I also cover NBA, so I know exactly what you're saying. Many basketball players or athletes, any way, shape, or form of whatever they are doing, saying the best bet is on me. So I am investing in me. This is what you're doing. You're investing in you, because this is investment that you can control. Everything else is outside of your hands, and investing in yourself in this way. So prepare for the next fight, when there will be more and more exposure, more and more, of course, money. This is a business, and this is the way for you to make money. Uh, thank you very much. Let's follow your career. I, like me, everyone else, I think so, likes what they do, what they see, the way you fight, and everything else. I must say, for many people, who you are outside of the ring is less important. For me, it's not. For me, it's I'm not going to judge you what you're doing outside of the ring, but it is important, and everything what I hear and what everyone heard right now, know that you know who you are, Michael.
Yeah, yeah, and that's important. Like, I guess that's the like one of the benefits of, even though I got the late start, it's one of the benefits of the late start is, by the time I started boxing, I already knew who I was as a person, because from my other life experiences. I got certain things out of my system where with a lot of other guys, they started boxing as kids, and by the time they reach my age, it's not in them anymore. I was telling my trainer that the other day. I was like, the way that a lot of these guys felt when they were about 6, 7 years old walking into the gym, that's how I feel right now. So that to me, that's an edge. That's a little mental edge right there. It's because I come to the gym. I look forward to coming to the gym. Like, especially after that week off, after that week to week and a half off, because in that week and a half, I don't really know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Because I kind of got the going out and stuff like that out of my system. I'm not gonna say I don't like going out, but it's not like it wouldn't be a regular occurrence for me because I kind of got that out of my system throughout my entire 20s. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, in that week and a half that I have off, I'm at the house hanging out with, you know, my girl, hanging out with the kids and stuff like that. But then it gets to a point where I'm like, okay, when I wake up in the morning, from the time I wake up in the morning to about until they're done with their online schooling, I really don't even have much to occupy my time. I'm like, you know, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, all right, yeah, I need to go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to go to the gym. And so when it starts back up, I'm like, all right, cool. Even when we don't have a fight lined up, we're doing mini camps. You know.
Yeah. So always boxing on your mind, the best way, the absolutely best way. This is your career now. Concentrate on one thing. Like I said, we're gonna look forward to see you again in the ring. Thank you very much again for your time, and you have another fun, which is me for a couple of fights already. But I hope knowing you better, and this was the one of the reasons what we did this interview is to know you better. Those fans will be there'll be more and more of them every fight. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Michael.
Thank you for having me. You know,
Thanks.
appreciate you, like, you know, spreading the name, man. I appreciate that.